Most firms deploying Claude right now are doing it without a standard. A partner tries it. A junior uses it on a contract review. A paralegal starts using it for file notes. Each of them sets their own workflow, their own verification habit, their own sense of what "I checked it" means. The output varies by person. The risk sits unevenly across the team, and nobody has defined what the standard actually is. This episode is the deployment guide, not for individual lawyers learning Claude for the first time. There's plenty of that on this channel. This is for the managing partner or senior partner making the firm-wide deployment decision. What plan to choose, how to set up the shared infrastructure, what the verification standard needs to say, what to tell the team before they start, what to check with IT before you go live, and what the supervision chain looks like when Claude is in the workflow. 6 steps, in order. Step 1, the plan decision. This isn't primarily a budget decision, it's a capability decision. The difference between the plans that matter for a law firm isn't the price. It's what the plan gives you in terms of deployment infrastructure. The Pro plan is right for individual lawyers and sole practitioners trialing Claude before making a firm-wide decision. It doesn't have shared projects, it doesn't have an admin console, and it doesn't give you visibility of usage across a team. It's the right starting point for one person. It's not the right plan for a firm. Team Standard is the plan most law firms need. It gives you shared projects across the team, which is the infrastructure that makes the firm standard deployable. It gives you an admin console for usage visibility and policy enforcement. It gives you priority access during peak periods and collaboration features that the Pro plan doesn't have. If you're rolling out across a team of any size, this is where you start. Team Premium adds significantly higher usage limits and Claude code access on top of Team Standard. It's right for partners and senior associates running complex, extended workflows for most of their working day. If your most intensive users are hitting limits on Team Standard regularly, Premium is the upgrade path. For pricing on all of these, the payment tiers episode on this channel covers the full breakdown. The key point for the deployment decision is that the shared project infrastructure in Team Standard is what makes firm-wide deployment workable. Without it, every lawyer is setting up their own context from scratch every session. Step 2, the shared project. This is where the firm standard lives. A shared project in Claude is a workspace that maintains context across every conversation that happens inside it. Every team member who opens the shared project works from the same instructions, the same context, and the same verification requirement, without having to set any of it up themselves. The standard is embedded. It runs automatically. It doesn't vary by person or by workload. Here are the instructions to paste into your firm's shared project. Fill in the bracketed fields. This is a Claude project for firm name. All output produced in this project is produced on behalf of the firm and is subject to the firm's professional standards and information governance policy. Output standard. All output must be produced in plain, direct legal English appropriate to the recipient. Flag anything uncertain with verify. Do not state uncertain propositions as fact. Do not invent facts, dates, names, case references, or statutory provisions that are not in the documents provided. Verification requirement. All output produced in this project must be verified through the firm's verification protocol before it is submitted to a supervising lawyer, sent to a client, or filed with any court or tribunal. Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. Practice area. Practice area if applicable. These instructions run at the start of every conversation inside the project. Every team member gets the same briefing every time. The verify instruction is embedded from the first word. The verification requirement is stated explicitly, so nobody can claim they didn't know it applied. Step 3, the verification standard. This is the step most firms skip in the rush to get access rolled out. It's the most important one. The most common firm deployment error is giving team members access to Claude before defining what the verification standard is. When the standard is undefined, each person sets their own, which means the standard varies from lawyer to lawyer and from matter to matter. The partner who checks everything thoroughly and the junior who checks quickly under pressure are both operating within the firm standard because there isn't one. The minimum verification requirement for any firm deploying Claude on live matters has 3 components. First, every verify flag in any output must be resolved against a primary source before the document goes anywhere. Not most of them, every one. Second, every case citation must be checked on Westlaw, LexisNexis, or the relevant research platform before it goes to a client or a court. Third, every factual assertion must be confirmed against the source documents in the matter file. That's the floor. The verification protocol for legal practice, available on the Claude for Lawyers Gumroad page, covers the complete 5-point system beyond that floor: the supervision framework for senior lawyers reviewing junior Claude-assisted work, and the firm deployment guide. It's designed to be handed to people as the firm's defined standard, not paraphrased in a meeting. Step 4. Briefing the team. This doesn't need to be long. 3 things. Keep it short. The standard and the protocol documents do the detailed work. The first thing every team member needs to know: what Claude is and what it isn't. Claude is a reasoning tool. It reads documents, produces output, and reasons across the content it's given. It is not a research database. It does not access Westlaw, LexisNexis, Fastcase, or any live legal source. Everything it produces that depends on legal authority must be verified through a proper research platform before it is relied on. This is non-negotiable, and it applies to everyone, from the senior partner to the most junior paralegal. The second thing, the verification requirement is a firm standard, not a personal choice. Every piece of Claude-assisted output that leaves a team member's desk must pass the firm's verification standard before it moves forward. If a supervising lawyer finds that verification has not been run, the work will be returned. No exceptions for time pressure, because time pressure is exactly when verification is most important. The third thing, the supervision chain is unchanged. Claude-assisted work goes through the same supervision process as any other work. Junior output goes to a senior for review. Senior output goes out under the senior's name after the senior has applied the verification standard. No Claude output goes directly to a client or a court without passing through the supervision chain. Claude being in the workflow doesn't change the accountability structure. Step 5. Information governance. This one requires a conversation with your IT team before deployment, not after. 3 questions need answers before Claude goes firm-wide. First, does the firm's existing information governance policy cover third-party AI tools outside the Microsoft ecosystem? Most firms' policies were written before this class of tool existed or were updated for Microsoft Copilot and don't extend to Claude. If the policy doesn't cover Claude, it needs updating before deployment. Using a tool that isn't covered by your information governance policy creates a gap, and gaps in information governance are exactly what regulators and clients ask about when something goes wrong. Second, what data classification applies to the documents your team typically works with? And does that classification affect which tools they can be uploaded to? Different document types carry different classification levels. Some of them may restrict which external tools they can be processed through. Get clarity on this before deployment. In the meantime, the safe default is to anonymize client identifying information before uploading any client documents to Claude. Remove the client name, the matter reference, and any identifying details. The analysis is the same. The exposure is lower. Third, what do your professional indemnity insurers require you to disclose about AI use and client data? This question is becoming standard in PI renewal processes. Some insurers require disclosure before a claim arises, not at renewal. Check with your insurer before firm-wide deployment. This is not a question to leave until you're renewing. Step 6. The supervision chain. The question most firms haven't fully worked through yet is this: what does supervision look like when the junior is an AI system? The answer isn't that supervision goes away. The professional accountability of the supervising lawyer is identical whether the draft that arrives on their desk was produced by a human junior or by Claude. What changes is what you look for when you review. With a junior lawyer, you're looking for errors of judgment, missed issues, incorrect analysis, and advice that answers the question asked, but misses the question that should have been asked. With Claude-assisted output, you're looking for all of those things. and then some additional categories specific to how AI systems fail. Confident sounding inaccuracies with no verify flag because Claude didn't recognize the uncertainty. Characterizations. This clause is standard, based on training data rather than current market practice. Factual drift, where dates, figures, and names in the output don't quite match the source documents. The gap read, what should be in the output that isn't, because the brief didn't ask for it. And the register check, does this sound like it was written for this specific client, or does it sound like a template? The supervision framework in the verification protocol covers exactly this checklist for senior lawyers. It's the review process that makes deploying Claude across a team a manageable professional risk rather than an unquantified one. The deployment principle, deploy with a standard or don't deploy at all. The professional risk of firm-wide Claude use without a verification standard doesn't sit evenly across the team. It sits with the supervising lawyer who signed off on output that wasn't properly checked, and with the firm principal who deployed without a defined policy. 6 steps. Plan selection. Shared project setup. Verification standard. Team briefing. Information governance. Supervision chain. The shared project instructions from step 2 are in the description. Copy them, fill in the brackets, and paste them into your firm project. Deploy with a standard, not without one. That's the episode. See you in the next one.